We now return to Beyond the Sport. Janet Evans isn't the only four-time gold medalist with strong ties to Southern California. Lenny Krayzelburg, like Evans, made a name for himself in the pool, and the former world record holder remains heavily involved with his sport to this day.
This is my Learn to Swim Academy, Swim Right Academy, something that I started now 15 years ago, really after Athens Games and when I retired. One thing that I wanted to do is just continue to stay in the sport, but also be able to transition into something post my professional career. By now we've had, I would say, maybe over 20,000 kids that have gone through our program, learning how to swim, obviously, and also being able to transition if they want to continue to be, to get more into competitive swimming and make swimming as part of their sport is something that, you know, I've been very fortunate to provide that type of a platform. And to be able to really make a good transition from being a professional athlete to doing something that is still very impactful, and yet fortunate enough for me to be able, you know, to earn a living. I grew up in former Soviet Union, Ukraine, growing up in the late 70s, early 80s. In the Soviet system, it was different. At age of 9, or right around 4th grade, is when kids that had potential were selected into a special class. For me, fortunately, Odessa had a good swimming base, and I ended up being in my city. So at 9, I was selected in that special group of kids. I ended up immigrating and coming to LA in 1989. I was a 13-year-old kid in 8th grade. And it wasn't until really I was a senior in high school that I started to send out application to a lot of colleges to see if anyone would be interested in me. And no one responded because I just wasn't good enough. So I ended up going to Santa Monica College.
During his freshman year at Santa Monica City College, Krayzelburg began training during the summer with USC's Trojan Swim Club, under then head coach Mark Schubert.
And by the time the summer was over, Mark got me into his office and said, "Lenny, I want to offer you a full ride to USC, and I really believe you could be the best backstroker in the world." After finishing my collegiate eligibility, in '98 I became a pro and signed my first contract at that time, with the focus to make it to the Olympic Games in 2000 in Sydney. Leading into the Olympic Games, I was a favorite to win the gold medals in my events. In '99, I broke all 3 backstroke world records and was really the most dominant backstroker in the world. And everyone talked about Lenny winning Olympic gold medals was automatic. But we all know in sports nothing is certain, and on any given day anything can happen. With all the expectations and demand for me at that time, I was able to balance it pretty well and get to Sydney and finally have an opportunity to race for the Olympic gold medal. And, you know, fortunately enough, winning both the 100 and 200 backstroke, and then being part of the relay that won a gold medal as well. In your best case scenario, in your dreams, you wish you can go to the Olympics, swim 3 races, and win 3 gold medals. You know, for me, that was a reality, and it was certainly something that for many years was still, I couldn't really comprehend that. But certainly, I know I put in the work and appreciated the journey and the path along the way to that success.
Krayzelburg won a 4th gold medal in the 2004 Summer Games in Athens and has remained involved with the sport after he stopped competing. Earlier this year, Krayzelburg was named general manager of the LA Current, one of the 8 franchises competing in the International Swimming League.
So one of the challenges that I've seen in our sport for so many years is that besides the Olympic Games, there really isn't that much opportunity for athletes, for swimmers to be able to make a living. And if you're the top 1%, you might have some sponsorships that you can make a living and focus on training. But for the rest of the swimmers that finish the collegiate eligibility, there really is not much opportunities there.
Our sport is one that tends to be 4-year segments. We're the #1 Olympic sport, so we have worldwide attention every 4 years, but between we tend to go way off the radar.
When I heard about International Swim League, ISL, and this vision to be able to fund a professional swim league to provide opportunities for athletes to be able to compete year-round and to have salaries and to travel around the world and to be able to have the exposure that our athletes deserve. I jumped on it right away. Starting a brand new league definitely has a number of challenges. Obviously, getting the interest and exposure so that we can create a bigger following than just current swimming fans. I think that's one of the biggest challenges that I think the league has.
Now let's just work on this week. Training-wise and technical, get better this week. Get better not only for the next meet, but get better for Olympics, Olympic trials, Team USA, or the country you swim for in the Olympic Games.
What the ISL does is it shows every year a chance for us to be a part of a team and to show us exactly what our talents are outside of that Olympic World Championship stage. More familiar to a league like the NBA or the NFL, but on an international basis.
ISL sort of kicks the doors down and opens up all sorts of possibilities for professional swimmers and kids like me to sort of follow their childhood dream. It sort of makes it possible for us to swim on until we're ready to be done with the sport, or until the sport is done with us.
With the Olympics coming up here in 2028, there is nothing better than being involved in sports in City of Angels for the next 9 years, and to have this startup professional swim team here, it's just a really unique opportunity, and I'm really excited to be part of it as we continue to grow the league and grow our team, to be able to introduce our athletes on the grassroots level here so that we can build a following. It's going to be incredibly exciting, and it really is an honor for us to be part of that.